Hello people, Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube segment, I'm going to be talking about the 2012-13 NFC Championship game and give you my prediction and preview for it. In this game, I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers on the road to defeat the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons played a really brilliant game for most of the game, or a good part of the game last week, but Seattle dominated the second half, as we know, and they barely clawed out a victory over Seattle. It took a couple good passes by Matt Ryan, who seems to be unflappable in the clutch, to get the Atlanta in position to be able to come back and win against Seattle in the closing seconds. As far as Atlanta goes, quarterback Matt Ryan, he's a very good passer rating. I think about close to 94, 93.8 in the last game he played. Atlanta had a very good offense during the regular season. They were number 8 in far as total offense goes, number 7 in scoring offense. They average about 26 per game. Matt Ryan, his record is practically impeccable at home, 34-6. They really Atlanta does take on a certain thing at home where they just seem to have this really superb advantage over teams on average, and Matt Ryan is a very good part of that reason. As far as the Atlanta goes, I feel that they're like a team to me that they're very good. But what scares me is that I look back at the previous game, and that was a game they should have had very easily. They allowed Seattle to come back into it. Do they have the swagger now to go in and defeat a San Francisco 49er team that has that really played lights out last week? The quarterback Colin Kaepernick for the 49ers. He is he played lights out. I think he's like 3rd in rushing in as far as the postseason stats go, and he's a quarterback. So he by himself was pretty much a one-man show almost for 49ers last week, and that's just only one of their weapons. 49ers, they had a great defense during the season. They were 4th against the rush. Atlanta's in danger because if they're forced to become one-dimensional and the running game can't get going, then that favors the 49ers right there. 49ers also, their offense, we talk about their defense, but they're starting to get a pretty volatile, explosive offense. They've scored 24 or more points in as far as their last 7 wins, I believe, go, and they've averaged like 32 over that period. Sorry, I think it was their last 6 wins. But anyway, they've averaged 32 during that stretch. The last 2 games, their run defense has picked it up after that disaster they had against Seattle. They've only given up about like 159 combined in the last 2 games, which is about, of course, 80 per game. So the run defense is coming along now too. 49ers are essentially clicking on all cylinders, and 49ers also, they're not a bad road team. The last 2 seasons they're 11-5 on the road. So this could be, I believe it might be their season. I think they are good enough to defeat the Atlanta Falcons. I think the 49ers, they're kind of simmering over last season when they lost to the Giants. They knew they had that game. That loss was, a lot of it was attributed to self-inflicted wounds. They had a couple mishaps that shouldn't have happened on special teams. They if they had those plays back and they don't fumble or whatever, then you could be looking at a different outcome, and possibly they could have been the reigning Super Bowl champs even, as we're standing here, or sitting in my case here right now. So anyway, I think San Francisco, under Harbaugh, I think they don't want to go home a loser 2 consecutive seasons in the NFC title game. I think they have just as much motivation as Atlanta, if not more so, and I believe that will help propel them to victory in this game. So I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers to win this game and advance to the Super Bowl. Well, people, that will do it for this YouTube segment, 2012-13 NFC Championship Prediction. And my next video, I'm going to be talking about, well, I'll give you 3 guesses. The first 2 don't count. The Super Bowl prediction. And JR, I wanted to tell you, I think this prediction should appease you and make you pretty happy as far as the 49ers go. I think you guys will get to the promised land this season. Anyway, until next time, people, stay well.